So for today, I'm here representing Empowered for X and of course the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. My name is Ryan Knight. Consider myself a serial social entrepreneur. I started companies such as Detailing Nights, Service Kingdom, the Executive Power Up, and also the Black Panthers Cage, which is technically a secret. So that's you're going to be seeing a lot of publicity about that soon. But most people know me about with Detailing Nights. We work with youth in the community to teach them entrepreneurship using our mobile waterless car cleaning service as a guide for them to really see if entrepreneurship is a fit. But beyond that, I remember seeing a lot of our graduates start their entrepreneurship journey but not have anywhere to really plug in. So that's where we co-founded. I helped to co-found the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, and now we've been able to take a lot of the learnings and the partners that we have with Afro-Caribbean Business Network, their learnings, and put them into info sessions like this so that you can get this information and not have to go digging around for it. So right now, of course, we're currently helping businesses to increase their capacity, and we do that through Empowered for X, which is a physical co-working space. It's here. I'm actually in the office today here in Brampton, Ontario. But really, what Empower for X does is put an ecosystem around your business of support. If you're looking for help with your marketing, operations, even injecting technology or improving the technology that you're using in your business, Empower for X has those resources and can really work alongside you to amplify your company. So I do want to give a shout out to our partners, of course, Alternative Savings, that we do a lot of projects together. Shout out to Susan Henry and Jean Barrett there. The Sheridan Edge program, which stands for the Entrepreneurship Discovery and Growth Engine. Dream Legacy Foundation, they support more of our tech focused founders with their Black Innovation Fund and the Black Innovation Fellowship as well. Calabash. So if you are a service provider, definitely touch base with Calabash. I believe the website is calabash.global. They are a cooperative of expert service providers in the community where if a nonprofit or a for-profit company is looking for said expert service provider, Calabash has curated the talent in our community. So they're available and ready to work with you. And like I said, if you yourself are a service provider, you definitely want to get on their roster. So SETSI, the social economy through social inclusion. A shout out to Victor Bosole. I think he's still in Ghana, but really bridging the gap between the knowledge of social finance and the execution of social finance. So really a lot of the the concepts that I talk about in these info sessions that are stemming from the funding put forth in the social finance fund. We're going to dig deeper into it later, but SETSI has been creating those bridges. ZSE, shout out to Christopher Alexander, who's our business development arm of ACBN. So when you fill out that business needs assessment form, typically you get a call from Christopher's office to find out what stage you're in and then what support you need, and we plug you in. And last, of course, the Toronto Community Benefits Network. Shout out to Rosemary Powell, who's been supporting us from the very beginning and even supporting me when I was running Detailing Nights and really showing that that type of collaboration, which I feel I do base a lot of my philosophy on. I feel like there's no path forward without collaboration. So really want to say thank you to Rosemary and for her believing in me and the impact that I could have. And thus we are here today. So a little bit about the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. It started 4 years ago as I was seeing a gap as an entrepreneur where we were looking to franchise and expand Detailing Nights, and there were no Black-focused organizations that I could go to that really had it in their mandate to help companies scale. So we brought 6 other entrepreneurs together. We said, could we create an entity that sits down with an entrepreneur, figures out what stage they're in, and then helps them create a blueprint to exponentially grow their companies. So that could end in an exit or it could end in an IPO, which would be an initial public offering. So going on the stock exchange, really what is the end game that you want to get to, and we're able to sit down with you and be a partner to get you there. And just a little bit about, I guess, our statistics. So we've been able to grow the network to just over 4,400 Black entrepreneurs in the community. we're seeing that 71% of them are female entrepreneurs and founders, and about 91% in our database are the founder of the organization or the business or the current CEO. But what I'm most proud of is the partnerships that we've been able to create. Right now, we're part of the federal Black entrepreneurship ecosystem, which has 30, actually it's up to 40 organizations now. And even beyond those that got funded, the ecosystem continues to grow. So our reach has extended over 20,000. We started to create programming in South Africa and Ghana, and also in the Caribbean, specifically in Jamaica and Barbados. And really for ACBN, we do stand on these pillars, of course, entrepreneurship. Actually, entrepreneurship to us, I would say, is more of a base. I feel everybody should be running a business, and entrepreneurship has limited barriers to entry, but maximum potential. And even if you're in school, a youth, this to me is the best time to start a business, because now if it doesn't work out, you still have a roof over your head if you're still living with your parents, or if you're working full time, still having a side hustle to bring in additional income is something that I would consider. I believe entrepreneurship helps us create economic inclusion, and this type of convening is what I enjoy. I enjoy sharing what I know, researching and finding. They dub me like the grant hunter, so always on the hunt for different funding, which leads us to the last pillar, access to funding. So for ACBN, we created our own microloan program. So we're able to work with entrepreneurs to get them funding between $500 to 25,000, and I'll go deeper into that later. But besides the program we have to get you funds, we're always on the search for what other opportunities, whether they're traditional loans to the bank, investment opportunities through venture capital or angel investors, or just traditional grants. And the grants, I believe, are flowing a lot more, especially for for-profit companies, way more than it was in the past. And I typically put up this slide just to show you the types and varieties of grants, whether they be pitch competitions such as Ignite Capital, or funding from the city, where the city of Brampton, we were able to get funding from for our volunteer development or our events. Also the Youth Opportunities Fund, which is provincial, and they're through the Ontario Trillium Foundation, and also federal, where the Supporting Black Communities Initiative and the Federal Ecosystem Fund that I was talking about before. There's a spectrum and the different tiers of amounts of grants and complexity of grants. But the one way that I found to be able to be successful in getting these grants is through persistency. I wouldn't consider myself the best grant writer, but if I find something like the Youth Opportunities Fund, I will attempt that one time. If I don't get it, I will ask questions on why, and then adjust and correct course and apply again. It took us 3 attempts initially to get the first Youth Opportunities funding, and now we've gotten it multiple times, and it's expanded to even federal funding. But enough about me. What I love the most is being able to get business leaders and organizational leaders like you funding. So a couple examples that we put up here, the Youth Rescue Youth International, they were struggling to get grants initially, and we were able to partner with them, found a grant that allowed them to create a social enterprise, which was called the Investment Readiness Program. And then by creating this social enterprise, it's now going to be able to generate income that will support the nonprofit, because the nonprofit is doing such great work, but the funding wasn't sustainable. Now this social enterprise can really be that income generating activity that keeps them really working to the long term. Custodia, where Rescue Youth is on the spectrum of a nonprofit, Custodia is on the other side of the spectrum as a for-profit, but still they're doing landscaping and supporting seniors in the community. They were able to qualify for this social enterprise funding through the Investment Readiness Program, and again, get $100,000 to really amplify the work that they're doing. And New Life Project, shout out to Brenda Williams, that's out in Ottawa. We were able to work with her to get her application in for the SBCCI, which is the Supporting Black Communities Initiative. And that one, I know they did 2 rounds, and another round possibly is going to be coming out. So all of this to say, the funding is there. We just have to position ourselves in front of that flow of money. So typically we have some sessions that go through the grant writing blueprint. We won't be going deep into that today, but if you did want help with creating your own grant writing blueprint, we do have Grant Hunter University. So if you're interested to join, it's only $297 and you get access for the whole year. And we help you to finish your own blueprint. And why is a blueprint so important? I remember when I first got that Youth Opportunities Fund grant, that grant that we used became the template that we use for almost all the grants that I've written for my company and for ACBN. So once you finish that first grant and that fully kind of flush out your idea, that becomes your blueprint, and you can use that to go for really any funding that you see, and you're 80% done. So we can talk more about that later. But for today, we want to dig deeper into all of the hype that we're hearing around these grants that are available. So let me stop sharing and jump into this first one. So not sure if you heard about the Black Entrepreneurship Program that's happening with BOF. And actually, sorry, I know I was talking a lot there. I can pause if there's any questions as I'm pulling this up. Feel free to ask now if you had questions about anything that I was talking about earlier. Otherwise, we're going to jump into all the different funding that's available. So Simran, you can let me know if
Hey
there's any
Ryan,
questions. Yes, yes.
quick question. So you mentioned something. You guys have that grant writing program you mentioned is how much? 297 for the year?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, perfect. And you said you'll be going into more detail about that later on the end?
Yeah, I'll touch on it at the end of the presentation.
Okay, so then I can wait for that. That's fine.
Okay, cool, cool. All right. Was there any other questions? Are we good to keep going? All right, we shall keep going. Okay, so if you heard about the Black Entrepreneurship Program through the Black Opportunity Fund, they have created a partnership with CIBC to deliver this program. So with CIBC, actually, let me see if I can pull up this CIBC one. Because they're connected, I want you to be able to see both. Oh wait, is it here? Wait a minute, if you hit apply now. Yes, so CIBC created this Black Entrepreneurship Program. So it's a loan program that allows you to get up to $250,000 in financing, of course, to help you with your business. Yes, yes, we'll talk soon. So it helps you with your business, but there's two tiers to it. There's an initial tier for working capital, and then there's a second tier for leasehold improvements or equipment. So I don't think it shows the exact. Oh yeah, here it goes. So for equipment and leasehold improvements, your loan would go a max up to 10 years. If it's for working capital, the loan would be for 2 years. And I believe the max loan that you can get is 50,000. So you can get 250,000 for the equipment and leasehold, and up to 50,000 for the working capital. So now, if you don't qualify for the loan, what they've created with the Black Opportunity Fund is this new Black Entrepreneur Program. So this program allows you to get additional supports for your business, and you can get up to $2,000 for your business. So there's a good chart here that shows the different services that are available. So they've also partnered with the Black Chamber of Commerce. So if you know Doug, he runs the Masterminds, or the 12-month Propel Mastermind program. There's a 90-day business acceleration program, a 90-day Avro business acceleration, and I'm not positive, and I know what Avro should stand for. I'll check to see what Avro stands for, but it's pretty much helping you get your business sorted out. They have a food incubator program. There's a 6-month acceleration through their partner Empowered for X, which is here. So Chris Beth Cowie runs Empowered for X. There's a 6-month personal credit acceleration program and a 6-month business financial literacy program. So the way they worded it is that upon completion of key milestones, clients would receive payment from the Black Opportunity Fund and in the form of non-repayable funding. So they are grants. I don't know the exact amount you get based on which program you do, but I would assume based on you finishing it, the max you could get is 2,000, and maybe different programs have different amounts. So this is good to look at if you don't have your business plan done, if you were declined a loan from CIBC because of your credit score, or you needed help finishing your cash flow projections, you can plug into these services. So I'll also put this link into the chat so you have it. And at the end, we'll share the recording and also the slides. But I do have to update the slides with some of the links, so it'll come out. If it doesn't get to you today, by tomorrow, you'll have the full presentation. All right. So the next one, real quick, for those that are under 30, please do not miss the summer company program. You get $3,000 to start your business between, I guess, your school break. So when you finish school in the summer, you're able to get 3,000, and then when you go back to school, they usually do it 1,500 at the beginning and 1,500 at the end. But again, if you know anybody that, hey, is in school or is under 30, they should definitely plug into this. I didn't see the deadline. Oh, here we go. So it's open to May 31st, and you apply through your Small Business Enterprise Center. So here in Brampton, that's the Brampton Entrepreneur Center, run by Jennifer Vivian and Daniel Bichon. So Mississauga has one, Toronto has one, and there's, I think, 50 across Ontario. So if you know somebody that qualifies for this grant, please plug them in. It's something that students should not be missing. And I remember I went through it way back, 2012. All right, so the next one, the Business Advisory and Implementation, oh my gosh, and Development Service, yes. Wait a minute, did I get that right? Yeah, Business Advisory, Implementation, Development Services. So in a nutshell, what the BBPA created with their BADES program is the ability for you to get services done for your business without you having to come out of pocket for the cost. So if you needed help with your marketing, creating a strategy and actually executing the strategy, you would be able to sign up for BADES. BBPA would pair you up with a service provider, and then that service provider, which would be a marketing consultant, would help you complete the strategy and can also help you with execution. And then they submit their invoice to the BBPA, and it's paid through the BBPA. So you get this work done without you having to come out of pocket for it. And here's a list of all the different types of services that you can get for your business. And of course, you'll see, I always tell people, you can get paired with a grant writer. So as I'm telling you about all these different grants, you can sign up for the BBPA BADES program, get paired up with a grant writer. You might even get paired up with me and my team, and then we would help you research what grants are out there as I'm telling you today. But we would do like a deeper dive specific for your business. And then if anything that matches, we'd be able to write that grant for you. So it's a way to use a grant, which is the BBPA BADES program, to then get additional grants, which can be a variety of things. But you can see it ranges from IT implementation and development, operations management, a lot of ways to really fine tune and amplify your business. That's why I really like the BBPA BADES program. So check it out if you haven't already. The applications should be open. I know they were closed for a bit in the beginning of the year as they were updating their intake platform. So you'll see it is open, pretty standard contact name, your title, your phone number. They do want you to put your photo ID in now, so that's new. Name of your business, if it's registered, what type of registration, how long in business, employees, industry, websites, activities. So as I'm cycling through these, I want to show you a trick that I use. So you may see a lot of this stuff gets repetitive. So what I do is keep information that, and when I talk about that blueprint, I'm going to show you the mini blueprint. So all of those answers that the BBPA would be asking for, you should have them here in an easy to find document, or I use Keep, Google Keep. So when an application asks you for your social media handles, boom, you have them. If an application is asking you for, what could they be asking you for? Who's the main contacts? They want to hear a bit of your description. All of these things, 100% of the applications ask you for. I can't even say 90%. Every grant application is going to ask you the same things over and over again. So you can actually prepare yourself ahead of time. So when they ask you for, oh, tell us a brief story about your business. Let's see. Here's a brief story about our business. This isn't a long one though. We actually should have a longer one. Do we have a better one? Yeah, I'm gonna have to write a better one. But if they just wanted like a quick 100-character type description, you would just have it right away. And then as sometimes you get creative and you start writing more, make sure and put it over to here so that you always have an updated description about your business. And that is the extent of this one. So I always say, do not miss this grant application. Actually, it'll be your homework for today. So I see they've brought this down to select one service. Before, I think you can select up to 3, but I'm sure you probably have to start with 1. And why am I not seeing grant? Oh, here's grant writing. Yes. So if you need help with your loan applications, procurement, or grant writing, it is there for you. Use the grant to get more grants. That is my gem for you today. All right. So Digital Main Street, unfortunately, I did hear that it's closing at the end of this month, but not to fear, a similar program has been created called the Canada Digital Adoption Program, where we're going to get into that in a sec. But Digital Main Street had 2 different programs where, oh, look at that. So they are delivering the Canada Digital Adoption Program. So I guess we can cover right now. So the Ontario grant, initially, it was $2,500 to help you complete a digital transformation plan. So it would help you assess your digital marketing, and then you would watch videos to learn more about different ways that you can do digital marketing. And then you would create a plan or a strategy using what you've learned, and they would give you $2,500 to execute your strategy and also connect you with different vendors that do the work. So you'll see they have a full vendor directory. And so if you know anybody that is a marketing service provider, they should definitely sign up here and become a vendor. But this new program now, and I wonder if it's in New Brunswick too. It's strange that it only says it over Ontario. Why does it seem like my computer froze? So let's see which information do they have for this. This page is slowing down my computer. Oh, I actually didn't even put it in here. So let's put this in there. All right. So as we're learning about this together, the Canada Digital Adoption Program, they created it. So the government of Canada has partnered with Digital Main Street in their Shop Here program powered by Google, which, sorry, I meant to mention. So the Shop Here program, Digital Main Street helps you create an online e-commerce store. So they partnered with Shopify, oh my gosh, Bookmark, Lightspeed, and Square to help you build, like whichever of those platforms you want to use for your e-commerce. They help you build the store and then teach you how to market it. So now eligible businesses will receive a mic. So instead of 2,500, they're able to get 2,400. And again, similar to So costs related to adopting an e-commerce and supported by a network of e-commerce advisors. And they're putting the final touches on the program. So nobody is shocked that they're the ones that were able to get the, I guess, the contract to run this program. And their sign up, see where their sign up form takes you. So pretty standard, first name, last name, email, company address, province, and preferred language. You would sign up. Once the program is ready to roll out, they will contact you. But let's go a bit deeper into the program. All right, so you may have seen the announcement. The government of Canada is actually putting $4 billion towards this program. And there's two streams. So that micro grant that we were just seeing on the Digital Main Street side, you can get $2,400 to help with running your business online. And then they have a Boost Your Technology or stream where you can get a grant to help develop your digital plan and leverage funded work placements, which is a student that you're able to bring on, and the subsidy is about either $7,400 or $7,500 to cover them helping you execute all this planning and strategizing that you're doing. So we're gonna jump into each one. All right, so the Grow Your Business Online, yeah, exactly what we saw with the 2,400 that Digital Main Street is providing. When you start your application, you actually do an assessment tool first. So of course, well, let's see what this eligibility criteria is. All right, so it must be for profit. You do need to be registered or incorporated. So registered as a sole proprietor or a corporation, consumer facing. I wonder if that means it can't be B2B. That's weird that they would use that. Can be accessed by in person. Interesting. So they're helping people that provide in-person services, but they're helping you create e-commerce solutions. So if you already do e-commerce, I wonder if you qualify. So they say that these ones are ineligible: corporate chains, franchises, or charities, multi-level marketing, and real estate. So if you already are running an e-commerce store, you might not qualify because you would already have an e-commerce presence. It seems that they're helping companies that provide in-person service presence, but I would still apply and let them, I'll even email them and see if I can get more clarity on that. But it does say you do have to have at least one employee. I wonder if you have to prove that, because like if you're a sole proprietor, you would be the employee, but do you have to be on payroll? So I would want to get some clarity on, do you need to have your payroll account set up, or can you just be a solopreneur and be the one employee? You do have to commit to maintaining a digital adoption strategy for 6 months. And you must consent to follow-up surveys and sharing information. Okay. And there was something else. So the assessment tool, let's see if this comes up. What sector you're in. Oh, geez. I do want to see what this looks like. Where's your office located? What are you looking to do? Okay, so that's you two different. So either you're looking to sell online or you want to undertake a digital transformation. So let's try e-commerce. It says the Grow Your Business Online grant is a fit. So that's the one that we were looking at that talked about the $2,400, and they're targeting 90,000 businesses. If you say you want to undertake digital transformation, it then asks you, Do you have annual revenues between 500,000 and is that 100 million? Oh God. Please tell me if I'm reading that wrong. Okay. So if I didn't, it says the Grow Your Business Online grant is for you, which is back to this one. This is the Grow Your Business Online. So if I did make over 500,000, then the Boost Your Business Technology grant is right for you. Okay, so we've seen the criteria for the $2,400 micro grant, and you have to participate in a 6-month program that looks like it's delivered through Digital Main Street. Now, if you wanted to get into the Boost Your Business Technology grant, which is this one, you have to be making between 500,000 and 100 million. So let's see if it takes you to the same page. Yeah, so it takes you to learn more over here. So this is to support small and medium-sized enterprises. I feel like they have to redefine the word small because yeah, 500,000. So you have to be incorporated or be a sole proprietor. You must be for profit, have between 1 and 499 employees, and have at least 500,000 in revenues. So if you have those things, it'll cover 90% of the eligible cost to a maximum grant value of $15,000. Okay. And you have the opportunity to secure a 0% interest loan from BDC, which is the Business Development Bank of Canada. And I wonder if it shows more about that, the BDC loan. Let's see. So you get a 0 interest loan from BDC up to 100,000, 0%. Again, you have to be making between 500,000 and 5 million. You can get a loan between, okay, so if you're making between 500,000 and 5 million, you can get a loan between 25,000 and 50,000. If you're making between, or if you're making more than 5 million, you can get a loan between 25,000 and 100,000. 5 years with 12 months interest only. And you have 1 year from the completion of your approved digital adoption plan to make a loan request. Okay. Wow, that seems. So as a business meets one of these two scenarios, you've completed a digital adoption plan. So you've been working with a recognized digital adoption program, or you're a part of the CDAP program and receive disbursement of your grant. So if you get the $2,400 grant, you would then qualify to ask for this loan. Well, actually, no, sorry. If you got the Boost Your Business Technology grant, which is the 15,000, then you would qualify for the accessing the loan piece. All right. So that, I mean, it starts with this assessment. So I'll make sure that this link is in. Hold on. Wait, that's not the right one. So this link will help you do your own assessment. And then this one will have all the information that you need about the program itself. So I just want to make sure and update the slide deck before it goes out to everybody. Okay. And the final one that supports for-profit companies is the Visa She's Next grant. So this one, as you can see, is women entrepreneurs only. Do believe it's, yep, $10,000 as a grant. And the applications are open until March the 15th. So really pretty straightforward. Like I was saying before, a lot of the questions are going to be similar. Hold on, where did it go? Is it loading? When I clicked on it last time, it took me right to the grant, and now it's not there. Let's see. No, that's tips and tricks. This is strange. Oh, what is this? Oh my gosh. They should make that button a bit bigger. All right, so standard stuff, contact information, gender do you identify as, and ethnicity identify as. Like I was saying before, you should have these social media links saved somewhere so you can grab them quickly. How did you hear about us? Oh, it's not gonna let us go to the next one. Actually, let's see if this autofills a lot of it. I just want to see the next page so you can get an idea of what to expect when you are doing this grant. And let's say Google search. Well, do you need one? Oh, this one, I thought I said I'm Asian. Here we go. So you have standard, name your business, websites, how would you describe it, what stage are you in, your status, your industry, how many employees, do you have paid freelancers, what is your current challenge, give us your business pitch, and how will this grant help you. So really, like I said, if this is going to be the first grant that you've ever filled out, make sure and save all of your answers into something like a Google Keep or a Word document, because as you find more grants, they're going to be asking you very similar things. So you already have a lot of the answers already available to you. All right. So if you're a nonprofit, and this is where I know sometimes the for-profit companies tune out when I start talking about nonprofit, but even while I'm talking about nonprofits, and I'm going to just touch on two, the Ontario Trillium Foundation, we were able to get the Youth Opportunities Fund, even though we were a for-profit, by partnering with a nonprofit. So you have to figure out what nonprofit in your city or in your area aligns with your mission. And this will open you up to bigger grants, because then the nonprofit can take the lead and be able to get the grant for you. But also you have to understand how to kind of pair or carve out the nonprofit elements that are in your for-profit. One thing that we also did with Detail Ignites was create a grassroots organization, the Knighthood Academy, and that allowed us to apply for the Youth Opportunities Fund. But you'll see, where is their available grants? So these current grants, they have Resilient Communities Fund, a Community Building Fund, the Community Investments Fund, and the Youth Opportunities Fund. So I'd say if you're just starting out, the Youth Opportunities Fund is pretty much the space that you would live in. The Community Investments and Community Building Fund are a lot more competitive because you're going up against established nonprofits, and typically they want you to be a nonprofit for at least 2 years and above with solid financials. So if you're a nonprofit and you do want help to navigate Ontario Trillium Foundation, please reach out. We do work with a great company, Do Good Fundraising. So Rohit, he's the owner of that company, and they have a lot of experience doing the Ontario Trillium Foundation grants and the Youth Opportunities Fund grant. So if you do need help to navigate it, which I would recommend, definitely check him out. But also, I typically recommend, if you're going to hire a grant writer, so let's say you got the BBPA Bates Program grant, now you're partnered with a grant writer, get them to write the most difficult grants first, because the provincial and federal grants, we use the federal grant to do the blueprint in the Grant Hunter University, because once you finish a robust grant like that, it's a lot of the other grants, like you saw the BBPA one or the Visa one, they're a lot less complex. So by doing the most difficult one and getting help with it from an actual grant writer, that allows you to apply for other grants a lot easier because they're not going to ask for as many things. A lot of times they won't ask for like a full work plan and a full detailed budget. They'll just ask you for kind of a simpler budget, but you want to have it done. Don't go into a grant and not really know your budget. So keep an eye on that. And I also wanted to show you the Ontario Grant Portal. So I was meeting with one of the MVPs and they showed me this portal, which I should have been aware of, but I wasn't, just to give you an idea of how many, oh, it went down to the bottom, how many different grants are available just in Ontario. So you'll see here there's about 30. So ranging from Aboriginal or Black Youth Action Plan all the way to like a municipal energy plan and this Ontario Together Fund. So look through these types of grants because you want to find, a lot of times there's something that aligns, but maybe you wouldn't be able to go after it on your own as a for-profit. But again, you can partner with a nonprofit to tackle the grant. And I did see this Black Youth Action Plan. I think the deadline is coming up soon. So, oh, not too soon. So the career launch is due March 23rd. The career advance is due April 6th. And the sector innovation network is due April 20th. So like I said, definitely keep an eye on this page because Ontario does have a lot of grants available. A lot of times we're just not applying for it. So let's change that. And one last one before we wrap up. It seems like today we will just focus on the grants. We can touch on the loan products at the next session. But this grant, the Investment Readiness Program, has been one of the best grants that I've seen that help for-profit companies. Unfortunately, it's not open yet. So this link that is going to be in the slideshow or the pitch deck, you want to sign up here at the bottom. We can just give a bit of information about your company. So let's say you're a social enterprise. Oh, they want your name. Let's see, D2 Nights. Where are you? I'm in Brampton. We do employment development and we want to focus on no poverty. So if you're not aware of the current UN sustainable development goals, definitely like research it and see which ones you align with. Based on the title, you can pretty much tell, like if you're focused on quality education or gender equality, you would then see that your mission aligns with these goals. Oh, we want to pick 3. Okay, so education, which is the other one? All SDGs, no. And creating partnerships. And we do education. All right, so now it'll ask you what stage or what are you interested in the Investment Readiness Program. So a bit of background, the Investment Readiness Program is what was created first was the Social Finance Fund. So about $800 million was invested to support social enterprises to amplify their impact. So the Social Finance Fund was designed to invest hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars into social enterprises to help them grow their organizations. Well, what they found was a lot of the social enterprises weren't ready to take on that type of investment. So they created the Investment Readiness Program as a way to get a grant to organizations to really fine tune their operations, bring in consultants to help with their business planning or feasibility study, their finances and their cash flow projections and their operations so that when you now have I'll say a better well-oiled machine, you can then be prepared or ready for the investment finance fund. So the next step from the Investment Readiness Program is to step into bigger dollars and bigger investment into your company. So really look at if you're interested in the Investment Readiness Program, and that's where they ask you, what is your interest? So just to be ready, we are looking to promote our services. We're looking to learn more about social innovation, social finance, and social enterprise. or just to do more networking. So let's say if we say networking, and then they'll ask for your email, and you want to say yes, you want updates. Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to submit. I'm already on their thing. Anyhow, you can see from beginning to end. So definitely sign up so that way when it is live, you're able to get the updates and be able to apply. We're definitely going to do working groups around it again. So once the application's open, we'll invite you to work on it together and we can go through each question and really support you in that application. So one loan program that I did want to touch on, of course, our loan program. So ACBN, we have our microloan program. So if you're looking for between 500 to 25,000, we're able to support you in getting that fund. And typically we fill the gap that the other programs don't fill. So I always say go to whether it's RBC, CIBC, BMO, the FACE Coalition, Futurepreneur, those should be your first targets because out of the four, they all do loans up to 250,000, and all I would say have better terms, like longer terms between 5, even up to 10 years that you saw with the CIBC one. But if you're not quite ready to take on or to get through their process, that's when you'd come to us to either the ACBN microloan, the Access Community Capital Fund, or the Rise Asset Development. All these microloans really help you get your business plan done, get your cash flow projections done, get some momentum for your business, which then prepares you to plug into the bigger money through the bigger banks. An interesting program that Alterna created with BDC is actually a matching program. So they're able to get you 25,000 and then BDC matches that 25,000. So if you're again not getting a lot of traction with the big four programs, which would be the FACE Coalition, which is part of the Federal Black Entrepreneurship Loan Program, RBC that has their own Black program, CIBC that has their Black program, and the Bank of Montreal that has their Black program. I always say start with those four. If you're not making headway, check out the Alterna Savings and BDC program. Again, if you're not quite there yet, then work on or come to us, the ACBN microloan program, and we'll get you initial capital, get you like the support and wraparound services that you need, and then you can really plug into the bigger money as you develop. So just before I wrap up, I did want to quickly touch on, we do have the Grant Hunter University. I'll actually put that link into the chat. It's just granthunteru.com. So we support you in finishing that grant writing blueprint. And then when that blueprint is done, again, it's going to make it so much easier for you to apply for grants. And we're always doing research. We do these info sessions about the grants every other Wednesday. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to be back seeing what new grants are available and which ones we can walk through to make sure that you're aware. But that's where if you want a bit of more guidance, we have the Grant Hunter University. If you just want to come to the info sessions, you get enough. But or if you don't want to do it yourself at all, we do have the ability to do the research, do the writing for you. Of course, that would be a different cost. That's like bringing us on board as your actual project team. But I feel you can get a lot of value from the university and also just from coming from to these info sessions and our working groups. So I always like to make sure that people know we exist to see you win. Really, all the different grants that we've gotten in the past, to me, is just proof that we're able to get the money, and so we can show you how to get it as well. And be sure to take down my contact info. My number is there. Add me to WhatsApp. I apologize, I'm not great at answering my phone, but please text me if you don't get me on the phone. And my email is there, of course. You can always ask questions. But I'm looking forward to one, hearing your questions today, but two, working with you because, like I said, the money is there. We just have to position ourselves in front of that flow of money. So I'm happy to pause there and then see if there's any specific questions. I'll stop sharing my screen. All right, solid. All right. You can unmute if you had a question, or Simran, were there any questions that came up in the chat? I can probably
Yeah, so
answer
we
those
have a question
first.
in the chat right now from Bookie.
Mhm.
So she's asking, will this program prepare you to become a grant writer with prospects for providing this service for others?
It does in the sense that it gives you the framework. So once you understand the framework, you can then work with a person that doesn't want to do it themselves and say, okay, we're going to follow this step by step. These are all the questions that you need to answer, and then I'll be able to help you write your grant. What it doesn't do is kind of, you have to still bring your own language and your style, because if you're a writer, then really the blueprint gives you the template, and then you're able to really answer the questions in the way that the grantee needs help with. So it'll definitely give you a great template to use. All right, Lisa, I just see your hand pop up. Feel free to
Uh,
unmute.
Hi, Ryan. How are you? This was
Very
great.
good.
Thank you so much. Um, so we're a grassroots organization. We just started. We're in Cambridge, and
Mm.
we kind of are trying to do our grants, um, like small grants to do our programs and things like that. But we just need some guidance. Would it be possible to, like, I don't know, conference with you?
Yes, 100%. Add me to WhatsApp. Actually, I'll put my number in the chat as well because I did take it down just now. And then, yeah, we can coordinate and figure out how to, what's it called? Yeah, I'll find out when I'm free. But yeah, that conference call, yeah, to kind of dig deeper and to see what you need help with, 100%, we can do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right. And was there any other question? I did see, I know I'm supposed to have a Calendly thing. Let me see if I can find my Calendly. Because I know, actually, if you email me, that's probably the best way for now. So I'll put my email.
Ryan, we also have someone wondering if these slides will be shared.
Yes. So if you registered, we're going to send an email as a recap, and I'll include the presentation slide deck in there.
Okay, great.
And then for those that are potential grant writers, you can see like you would have a good list of grants that are available to then share with your clients. It's like, listen, these are things that we need to attack and find out which ones match, and then you can start writing for them. All right. So I did see Chrisanne was asking, the next grant working group is going to be March the 25th. So we're going to dig deeper into the Canada Digital Adoption Program. Hopefully the investment readiness program will be available. So if you want help with actually writing that grant and like going deeper into it, we're going to be doing that on that last Friday at 1 o'clock. It should be at 1 o'clock actually. Let me confirm that. So 25th at 1 o'clock, yes. And so for the working groups, we do charge $20 because we keep it a smaller group and we actually go through every question. So when that Eventbrite is up, we will send that out. If you're interested to really get guidance in finishing the application, coming to the working group would be really good for that. And when some it'll be online. Although we are going to start having some in-person ones soon. I think we can earmark April for an in-person working group. But yes, I miss our in-person meetings.
Brian, I have a question. It's Fire here. And
good to see you.
Good to see you as well. My question is, I finally registered my not-for-profit.
Mhm.
And now wanting to understand how to synchronize the two so that they work together. I think I shared with you before that I had already started a lot of not-for-profit activities, but it wasn't
Right.
like it's not under anything. Like I was just doing it because this is what I do. Um, so now I guess I just want to understand how to make the two work together so that they're in sync and so that paperwork is clear and all of that other kind of stuff. Do you have a workshop on that, or is that a conversation with you and your team, or how do I go about moving forward with
Yeah,
that?
it'd be good to definitely have a conversation because it depends. Like for what I did, Detailing Nights and Knighthood Academy worked in tandem, but Detailing Nights and the Afro Caribbean Business Network don't work in tandem. So if you want it to be like its own entity and really keep it separate, yeah, we'd have to see what the focus is for the nonprofit paired up against what the focus is for the for-profit. Because a lot of times you don't want them to blend too much because then it gets like conflict and yeah, when the nonprofit world smells for-profit, it gets dicey. So you want to keep clear lanes. But we can definitely talk about that.
Excellent, thank you.
Yes, yes. All right. And again, I do know we are over time. So if you do have to run, do not feel guilty. I will not hold you. But I'm going to be here for another 5-6 minutes. If people want to ask questions, I'll be here. So, yes, I really appreciate, of course, you taking the time. I know we all have busy schedules, but I'm hoping this was valuable for you. If you do see any grants that piqued your interest, do not let me catch you that you didn't get the application in because that's the only way to guarantee you do not get the money. So if you're stuck in any way, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you get to that finish line and at least get your application in and make that application as strong as possible. And of course, hey, that first grant that you get is going to open up so many more grants. So definitely keep keep applying. Don't get discouraged. Thanks, Sophia. Sophia. Jericho, feel free. You can go ahead.
This is very helpful. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was hoping to maybe either in one of the workshops go over more technical writing. So actually talk about what the content should be and how it should be phrased, what works best maybe opposed to what doesn't. And I find in my previous experience with grant writing that I think that's one area that I really need to work on. So my
Yeah,
question is, do you have a technical workshop? Sorry.
yeah. So the one that we do, like the working groups, so the one that's going to come up on March 25th, because it's a smaller group, each person's able to work on their answers. So that's where we can get into the real technical. Sometimes we do an overview of the grant writing blueprint, but again, like you're saying, we don't really get to go too deep into any of the questions. So the working group is the best way because that way we can talk about specifically a grant that we're working on and specific to your organization.
I heard the date Friday, March 25th, but I don't think I captured the time, or is that online, or what the link is for that, or how you
Right.
sign
It'll
up.
be 1 o'clock again.
And is that something that you will send an invite to, or do I need to contact you for that link?
The link will come in the follow-up email that goes out.
Super, thanks.
Yeah. Cool. I do see a question. Hi, Ryan. Do you have any specific workshops or information sessions for nonprofits specifically? So typically one of the topics on the info sessions, we would focus primarily on nonprofit. So today was kind of a mix, but yes, we would have, I don't have a date for it yet, but we would have one that'll focus on just nonprofit. Awesome, awesome. No problem. All right. So yeah, again, open floor. I know I love talking about grants because it really amplifies anything that you're doing. But I would caution, don't try and start a business only with grants because grants are very you can't really depend on grants. So I'm a person of, like, if you're starting a business, I would look at using loans. One, because you don't want to be using your own savings to start a business that might not work. And again, if you use your own savings, you have nothing to fall back on. There's so many programs now to get you capital that leave your savings for emergencies, use other people's money to start, really grow. And if your business plan is on point and your cash flow projections are close to accurate, you've now increased your revenue to be able to pay off the loans. If your business plan isn't good, then I wouldn't say to get a loan. Really work with these organizations, ACBN, the Empowered for X. We're all here to make sure that that plan you create is as strong as possible so that you reduce your risk of bringing on capital, such as a loan. I know I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and they're totally against getting a loan, but I just find that you're not confident in your ability to execute with that money, or you're using that money to pay past bills. If you're confident that you get 15,000, even if it's to buy a piece of equipment or to inject into your marketing, that it'll help you grow your sales, I would say go for the money. But like I said, I don't know if you have to seek legal counsel. I'm not a lawyer nor a doctor, but there's a lot of money out here to get. All right. And yeah, feel free, if there's any final questions, I'm here. This could be a good place to wrap up. So again, I will thank everybody that took your time to be here. If you do have any questions, my email and phone number is in the chat. I'll put it one more time, just so in case it got erased. Feel free to reach out, ask any questions. If I don't get back to you right away, just ping me and say, listen, I sent you something, please check it, and I will definitely get back to it. On our website, if you do want to fill out the business needs assessment form, that'll help you, because one of our business advisors will call you within 48 hours. So that is also a good point. I'll put that into the chat. When you go to our website, acbncanada.com, you can find out a bit more about what we do and fill out the business needs assessment form. You automatically will get our funding spreadsheet. So that spreadsheet is where I try to keep up to date all these different grants and loans that we find. Actually, I need to update it with a couple of things that are in this presentation. So go into the website, fill out the business needs, and then that'll plug you into a lot of the supports that we do. And it'll force a call. So that's a good way to get on the calendar. My pleasure, Winsome. All right. So have a great rest of the day. If anything, we'll see you in 2 weeks.